next video of my maps of the world, we're looking at Canada. We know it's Canada because it says Canada. So Canada is made up of many different provinces and climates, from the Rocky Mountains from the western shore, western coast, the large bay, Hudson Bay. We have the very cold bit up here, and the very watery part all through there, and lots of cities over here that has people. Then we have Quebec over here, and which is, I think, the place where they speak French. And then over here is the place where they speak English. And then down here in America is where they just shoot you for looking at you. Canada is famous for being very friendly and having bad neighbours. It's also got mountains, snow, Brian Adams, Celine Dion, ice hockey, friendly people. It's like the northern version of New Zealand. I think I'm right in saying that. I think I read it once in my brain. We have Big Hudson Bay here, which is big. I mean, like, you could probably fit Ireland in there. I don't have a handy map to scale here, which is funny because it's a, what do you call it, atlas. Hold on, I've got a map on the wall right beside me. I just realised that. Let's just turn this light over here. Yeah, I think Ireland would probably fit in Hudson Bay. Okay, so we have Nunavut, Northwest Territories, Yukon, British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec. This thing here that I'm not even going to try to pronounce because I'll do it wrong, because I'll read it in English and I'll be told that it's not pronounced that way. It's not Newfoundland. It's probably something like Newfoundland. You know, we have the Labrador Sea, which is where the dogs got their name from. The Danes came across from Greenland, and the first thing they saw was dogs everywhere. I mean, like, it was like doggy paradise. That sounds dirty, but it's not. And then they thought, better name this after the dogs. So they said to the dogs, "What's your name? Are you a good boy?" And the dogs said, "Row, row, row." And they said, "What do you say?" And they said, "Row, row, row, row. Labrador. We better name this Labrador." So that's a true story. So then Quebec, as you can see here, Canada has got, I think, let me see, let me just check my notes here. Yeah, okay. Canada has a shit ton of lakes and rivers and water, and in the countries of the world, And the Canadian says, but look, you have loads of water over here and over there. And the American says, but you can't drink that water. And the Canadian says, we would love you to try. And the American said, are you trying to get rid of us? And the Canadian said, yeah, you found us out. And the American said, we're going to build a wall. And then they said, maybe we won't, because we like you, you're friendly people. We'll build a wall somewhere else. But that didn't happen for many years, many years. And then they said, right, we're going to name these places according to no rules whatsoever. So some of them might be named in sort of English / British. Some of them might be named a wee bit Frenchy-wenchy. And then some of them will be the native tribes who belong to the area. And the Americans were like, that's a silly way of naming things. Why don't you just name them north and south of the same place, just separate them that way. And then they said, or why don't you just name them according to the water? This is Lake Michigan. We will name this area Michigan. And the people around Hudson Bay thought, we should call this whole area Hudson. And then other people were like, don't be silly, because, that'll be a really big area. Like, look at Baffin Island there. Baffin Island's one of the biggest islands in the world. You wouldn't tell by looking there, but it's huge. It's like the size of London times, I don't know, Amsterdam. Huge. Can you multiply areas like that? Maybe you can't. But it's got all the brain power of London times Amsterdam, because it's mostly birds. So, penguins. No, penguins are the southern hemisphere. Polar bears. It has polar bears times penguins. So, let's see. We have Alberta, named after Albert. He was British, but they were divorced. So they split between the two. We'll call this side Alberta and this side British Columbia. They said, you stay on your side of the Rockies and we'll stay on our side of the Rockies. And then the people down here said, just you folks stay over there with your silly names. And they said, we've got silly names. They all must have a silly name. Are you bonkers? And then the people over here said, look, leave us alone to our water. Look how much water we have. That's loads of water. And meanwhile, the Americans were looking up at them going, these people talk too much. And they said, we do. We definitely do. And then we have Ontario, which is mostly land. It's like a crazy amount of land. It's almost as big as the bay, but not quite. So, let's see. And then up here is cold. You see, basically up here, it's cold. Where's the Arctic Circle? Is there a line here for the Arctic Circle? Hold on, I'll tilt this map. That mustn't be it. No. This map does not have the Arctic Circle on it. That's handy. But what I will say is, basically, cold. Canada is known for being cold. And happy. Like me. So, let's see. I suppose I better name some places, otherwise this won't be a real geography video. We have Edmonton, named after King Edmund, or Prince Edmund from Blackadder. We have Regina Valanche from France, I believe. Lake Winnipeg. And then we have, let me see, what else do we have? Any places you might recognize? Toronto, which is where the Toronto Blue Jays are from. I don't think I made that up. I think they're an actual team. Don't know what they play. Ottawa, which is the capital of Canada. One fact in this whole video. And Montreal, which I think they speak French. Or maybe it's Quebec. No. Who knows? And then you go up to the coastline here, and you come to Newfoundland and Labrador, the area of the dog, and then Greenland, which belongs to Denmark, but it's not as big as that. as big as you think. So then up in the northwest, they couldn't think